I tell you what, I feel like I'm on Joe Rogan right now. It feels pretty nice, It's
I like that.
Yeah, so it's like.
So I typically start my podcast like this. Welcome. Oh, I'm looking over there like my camera is supposed to be over there. Now my camera is there. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. We're here on the Trashman channel. We got Gannon Rawlins here. Excited to have him. So, gonna introduce this man. He's been a big part of my life actually for the past 3-4 years. Commercial and residential construction. Now he's taken a new role with a bigger industrial commercial.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, yeah, we're gonna let him tell us a little bit about his business.
Good deal. So, I'm Gannon Rawlins. I am a Galvestonian. I was born and raised in Galveston, Texas. God, we might need to cut that out. I wasn't born in Galveston.
Where were you born?
Nacogdoches.
You were born in Nac?
Yeah.
No way.
I forgot about that. You went to SFA.
Yeah, I did.
Anyways, okay.
We don't need to cut that out. We need to put that in. You're you're a Nac rat from birth.
There you go. Yeah, so I moved to Galveston when I was 2, but everybody that's from Galveston that's watching this podcast that claims the BOI.
I got you.
It's Islander by choice, IBC, whatever it is. But I like to claim the BOI if I don't,
And then there's foil too, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. If you want to go into that, it's off. I'm local. If you want to bleep that out.
No, I'm a little late.
There you go. Right. But the PG version of that is Family of Island Locals, which is kind of like the local slang. If you have a sticker on the back of your car, it's kind of like the way to go about it. They know that you're from Galveston. I
think I got a hat. I was awarded a hat at one point.
Yeah. That's right. So it's something that we kind of keep on the down low. We haven't really done much with it. It's just been kind of a low key thing where like, we'll buy a couple shirts here and there and then distribute to people that.
Is that y'all's brand?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So foil is something y'all came up with.
Correct. Yeah. So it was kind of based off of a story at the boat club. Myself, which is it's a Galveston boat club. We were watching. I think I was probably 15 years old, maybe 16, and we were just hanging out there, and we saw somebody that was not from Galveston trying to back his boat into the boat ramp.
Oh yeah,
and he was having a really hard time, and I spurted out, dude, fuck off! Like obviously he's not local, and then my dad was right there, and it clicked, and he was like, dude, we can come up with something like that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm 16, I have no idea what he's talking about. And he ended up going with F off, I'm local. And he put it on some stickers, some t-shirts and all that stuff. And then it just went crazy for a little bit. I went off to college and then it kind of died down again. But we still hand them out. It's still something that we hand out to people that we feel like, deserve it or, are cool. From Galveston.
Yeah,
you are not a Galvestonian, but you got some merch from it. So,
I mean, I've pretty much grown up going to Galveston.
Right.
I'm a League City. I was born in Nassau Bay, grew up in Seabrook, League City, and now I live in Dickinson. So I'm not that far, but I'm not an Islander by any means.
Right. Well, like I said, Islander by choice. At this point, like with me saying I'm BOI, I'm in the same system as you, man. I did claim BOI right when I started this thing. And it's like the biggest no-no. You're not born on the island. I wasn't born on the island. Everybody but my mom and myself and, my family are born on the island. So my dad, my brother, and my sister, all born on the island. So I obviously catch a lot of crap for that. And, IBC, obviously Islander by choice, I guess is what I have to claim.
Well, you don't have to totally admit that. We maybe can bleep some of that out.
I think maybe, to my peers in Galveston, maybe we just
we might have to charge them extra. No, I'm just kidding. So where'd you go to school?
Okay, so I guess we can go back to who I am.
Absolutely.
So my name's Gannon Rawlins. I'm obviously from Galveston. I went to Texas A&M. I played football there for 3 years. Then I transitioned to rugby, and then I graduated in 2020.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then right out of college, I went to build houses for a disaster recovery, GLO builder, and I built a bunch of homes in the matter of like 9 months, where I was just all over the greater Houston area, Lake Jackson, Nac, Orange, Houston, Santa Fe, you name it. I was in that city building houses, and I was all over the place. I got pretty burnt out by that, just from being on the road and then trying to manage a project that's 45 miles
And
away.
at that point, you were working for somebody, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
So I was working for somebody as a company out of Houston. Got burned out by it. Honestly, it just wasn't for me. And then at that point, I was kind of in cahoots with my dad. I was like, man, I really think I want to start my own business.
That was your first job out of college?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first job out of college. I started basically a month and a half after I graduated.
Okay.
It was right off the bat. I was ready to go, kind of make my own money, and I wanted to save for a house and, all that stuff. So yeah, right out of college, worked 9 months for them, got burnt out, got, in cahoots with my dad. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I put my foot down and I walked away. By all means, that company was great, but it just wasn't for me.
Was the money good?
The money was not good.
Okay.
The money was terrible.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say it's terrible, but if it's not I'm not gonna survive on those on bills and stuff with the salary I had.
Not to what you want is your lifestyle.
Correct. It's the people at the same level as I was. I mean, we're talking college or high school dropouts, and people that didn't really care too much, and I felt like I was a little bit more driven. I had a bigger picture.
Or a brighter future.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. So then I got with my dad, and we decided that we wanted to start an LLC together. At the time, it was Rawlins Residential Builders, which I ended up kind of going into that and starting my real estate at the same time, my real estate classes and all that stuff.
So this man also has his real estate license as well. So
yeah. So
got his degree from A&M, got all the experience building, and then he turns around, and on top of that, gets his real estate license.
Yeah. So then we started our BG, Rawlins Building Group, which was awesome. We did great for about 3 years, where we were doing commercial build outs mostly, not really any commercial new construction, lots of residential work, and then just the fancy thing that we obviously did with the school project that we had that actually got us to meet each other.
Absolutely.
But I got through about 3 years doing that, and I was faced with an opportunity I couldn't really deny, which is where I'm at now. I had 2 kids. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in that process.
I thought we were talking about business, I forgot about that part.
Let's throw there 2 kids, which can be a absolute challenge. You're
100%.
running a business, growing a business, starting a business, all those things.
Yeah.
And then having kids in the process.
Yeah.
And somehow figuring out how to pay for it all.
So I skipped a couple steps there if we're talking a little personal.
And I don't see a lot lot of gray hair on him, just so you know.
No, hey, I guess that's genetics, isn't it?
That could be good genetics.
Yeah, genetics.
You can thank your dad and your mom for that.
Yeah. I think probably 35 is when I'll start graying a little bit. But everybody's got their hair, which, hey, we're happy about that.
I just keep mine short so they're not noticeable.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, I lost my train of thought there.
You were talking about where you were in business when you had kids.
Yes, we forgot about. I got on a tangent about the business and I haven't talked about my personal life. So I guess it's kind of business, but I bought a house with the 9 months or 6 months of that job. And I moved in, and that was like pre-pandemic.
Is that 6 months of the first job you had out of college?
Correct.
Got it.
So I'd saved up. I bought a house. This is pre-pandemic, where the house that would be over 300, I got for way less. And before everything went absolutely nuts.
And I'm sure at a decent
pandemic.
interest rate too.
Yeah, we could say numbers, but it's about half of what it. It's just kind of. I'm very blessed to get in the real estate when I actually did, because had I waited 3-4 months,
I'm right there. I got my house in November of 21.
Wow. Yeah.
So I got a decent interest rate too.
Exactly.
And most people are like, "Oh, I don't like that guy."
Yeah, I know, right? I got mine at the beginning of 2021. Yeah. So yeah, that was right there. February is when I closed. So anyways, bought the house, lived in it for about 4 months, met a woman. She has my 2 kids now. She lives with me. She's my girlfriend. Her name's Sammy. She's awesome. And then I have a boy who's 2 and 3 months now, and a little girl who's 7 months.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so time's flying, dude. It really is.
Before you know it, they'll be going to pre-K.
Right, yeah.
Then sports.
Yeah.
And then we're never going to see you.
I know, dude. It's kind of, it's bittersweet. It's like, it's the next stage of my life, right? It's like, I don't really care about my personal gains anymore. As long as they're taken care of by my decisions, then that's really what sways me to do what I do.
So I have Off-topic question on the topic of kids.
Okay.
I have probably 5 or 6 friends right now that are all pregnant,
Wow.
all having babies.
Yeah.
All going to be popping between probably September and November this year.
Right.
As a father,
Okay.
what is one recommendation you would give to a new parent?
This is probably something.
Or a couple.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, there's. I don't remember who told me this, and it was at the diaper party for Beckett. Something I could probably be better at too, but it's don't take score, and it's somebody told me that, and it's, you know, when you have a kid, you know, you're kind of tallying what you're doing as a father and what you're doing as a mother. And something that I think that anybody who's wanting to, you know, make things work, whether you're married or, you know, it's a kind of a tricky situation, whatever it is, and you're trying to raise a kid together, don't take score. You know, it's definitely something that, you know, like, for instance, you changed 4 diapers and she changed 1. You know, just, it's like, hey, don't do that. It's like, do your part. If you need to do more, do it. Don't take score.
Absolutely.
So that's something that somebody told me. So advice to parents, don't take score as a new parent. So
just work together as a team the best you can, and just know that, you know, some days you might pick up the slack. Some days it waxes and wanes. No different than, you know, I feel like a lot of people do that with income, right? Right. So to me, if you love someone, that should be the number one thing. Right. Everything else just falls in place after that. It doesn't matter if they make $10,000 a year or $1 billion a year. It's not going to change how I feel about them. Now, I might get to enjoy that money. Great. It's convenience. But at the end of the day, if there's no happiness, money does not buy happiness. Money buys convenience. Just remember that. Somebody taught me that not too long ago. Money doesn't necessarily buy happiness. It does buy convenience.
100%. Yeah.
So
I definitely think that's a good saying too. But I guess I need to get back to what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, so yes, don't take score. Write it down. Something I need to do better as well, because it's hard. As a parent, you lose your patience pretty quick. But at the end of the day,
I think too that if I kind of get this vibe from you that you definitely would put your kids before work.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's really important too, because my dad was amazing with that. Like I think I might have said this on a different podcast, but he literally would take time in the morning. Didn't matter what was going on, the world could be burning down. But that trip from my house to school, he would not answer a call. It was just me and him time.
Wow.
Every day. Yeah. Every day he'd take me and drop me off at school.
Well, thanks, man.
And my mom would pick me up. Now, when my mom would pick me up, for some reason, me and her just butted heads.
Right.
But me and Dad's trip, he would never take a call, ever. And to this day, you could ask anybody that worked for him. He just wouldn't do it. It's like, this is my time with my kids. I need 20 minutes to get to my house to the school, and then I'm all yours.
Right.
Went a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's definitely how you build a good relationship with your dad. Absolutely. You know, the little things, you can recognize that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and something you remembered, which is kind of cool.
And never, he was all, like, he never, the world would literally have to end for him to miss one of my sporting events.
Oh, God, my dad's the same way. I mean, absolutely. I mean, and my mom. But, yeah, I definitely can relate to that.
I can tell you every, like, basketball game, I hit a game-winning shot from half court. He was there.
100%. Yeah.
I actually had other family there too, but he was there. And I think that as a parent, some people don't realize that those things are, it doesn't matter how little you are. I remember a lot. I don't remember like when I was 4, but kindergarten, seeing like things like that, I remember. And there's some parents that just aren't there for their kids. Like it's definitely a problem. I definitely think that's a problem for sure. I mean, especially because you think about core memories in kids, and like when they're going through all those developments and stuff, they have no idea what's going on. They remember the good things and they remember the bad things. Sure. I mean, and you want those good things to outweigh the bad things, so they see you as a good person. Because at the end of the day, you're their hero, right? You are. Yeah. It's like you're their number one fan, their biggest cheer, everything. Yeah. You're all wrapped up in one. Exactly. I mean, think about like there was an interview with Tom Brady. And there was this kid that asked him, he was like, who is your hero? And it's like a guy like Tom Brady. It's like, who is Tom Brady's hero? We're talking about the best quarterback of all time, right? And he's like, my dad. And he's tearing up about it. And you're like, God, like, that's pretty cool. You know, like for my dad, you know, my dad's made a big impact on my life. Absolutely. My mom has as well. She's awesome. I mean, both parents, beautiful, you know.
But for me to be able
He's really good at not picking favorites, you two.
I can't. When you have separated parents, it's like you can't really do much about it, right?
So it's like that right there is a whole tangent in itself, because I think some people have separated parents and they do absolutely nothing with their life. And it's almost like they maybe didn't get a fair shot.
Exactly.
But you have seemed like no matter what, you've made the most of it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, everybody's dealt different cards, right? I mean, whether it's different parents, a different home situation in general, whether it's, a job that you have to work because you have to pay for mom's house, it's like whatever it is, people are dealt different cards. It's just how you deal with it, right? So like, for instance, I think that, my dad and mom were really good about, like for instance, the people in bad situations. Like I had probably 3 of my teammates at my Little League football team that had a really bad time growing up because they grew up in the projects in Galveston. And my dad has, my dad and mom, they both took them in. And I mean, for 6 years, maybe 7, through like all my Little League football and middle school football, I mean, we had an extra bedroom no matter what. There was one of my teammates was sleeping in there. That's it's like, cool. Yeah, it's like, it's so like, back to, to making the best of our opportunities, right? Like finding the right people, whether it's your best friend or one of your best friend's parents to help out, or, being that person, I think that goes a long way. But yeah, I mean, I can talk about this all day, but
it's cool. Yeah. So we'll steer back to business.
Right. Yeah, we went on a little tangent right there, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Listen, I can tell, family's huge.
Yeah.
And friendships and families, you build relationships, and that's to me is like the best work.
Oh yeah.
And I've told a lot of the viewers on other things, like business is all about relationships.
100%.
If you take care of somebody and you do the right thing and you communicate with them, they're going to help you grow. But if you treat it standoffish, don't really care, you look at it as like it's just money.
Right.
There's no connection there, so they'll stab you in the back. I mean, really. I mean, you lose the loyalty.
100%.
So we were on the business side.
So the new gig. Right now, I think I'm 5 maybe 6 months in. I started January 15th, so almost 6 months.
I want them to know before you get to your new gig.
Okay.
I want them to know, what was it like starting your business with your dad?
Okay.
And what were some of the challenges that you had? Like, we were really fortunate because my dad had some money and he had it saved up so he could help fund some of these projects. Or no, dude, we had to go find loans and people to help us get through this, stuff like that.
Well,
because a lot of these people, they might be interested in starting a business,
right?
But they're like, I have $500. I have $1,000 saved up, or I have $5,000 saved up. I can't start a business.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Everybody had different situations. I had some backing from family that helped me kind of get into the business, and then I ended up paying them off, and that's how I kind of got my start.
100%. Okay. So I quit the job 9 months in, and me and my dad kind of actually, we had Rawlins residential builders, and I think we rode that out for a couple months, maybe 3 months. And then we were like, hey, we need to create this LLC.
So was that 100% ownership by him?
At the time, Rawlins Residential Builders, Rawlins RRB was...
That was like an established business that he had?
It was an established business. He's done 21 years of general contracting down there. I think he was kind of all over the place, though, just because he had bars and, he had...
Still does, doesn't he?
He has one now.
Yeah.
He's got 10 cups over there.
I need to go over there. I passed it a couple times.
Yeah, it's a cool little spot. Before we go into that, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so you're good. But basically, I've got ADD just like you, man. I mean, you talk about one thing. I mean, I'm over here. Right?
Oh, I know.
In the clouds.
I'm the same way. Adderall got me through college legally.
Yeah.
Legally. I got prescribed, and I took it for nursing school, and then I was out.
Yeah. Well, I didn't take it in college, and I barely made it through. So
hey, but you did. That's all that counts.
Hey,
C's get degrees.
On time, baby. On time, somehow. And we bring up, honestly, I knew that for me to go on and start a business with my dad, I wanted me to be a part of it. Obviously, I wanted to be, the face of not just my dad's company. It was a situation where he had a clientele, but I think that with me bringing the, young entrepreneur type mindset to grow the business, I needed to start fresh. So with a new logo, whether it's, because it was RB and I wanted it to be Rawlins Building Group.
Could you kind of facilitate that?
Yes. So it was kind of no, I would say that me and him kind of came to an agreement on that. It was one of those things where he literally I was like, I'm not going to do this without having, a new company. I want to be a part of this, and he's a sole proprietor. I know we can go through the paperwork to get the LLC for RB and all that stuff, but I wanted a new face.
Fresh, yeah.
New fresh, fresh, modern look. And, I was like, let me take the reins on this. Like, I don't want you to touch it. I got the marketing. I got everything, logo wise and all that stuff. So we start fresh. He had a little bit of backing. I had a little bit of backing just because I had money from, my previous job as well.
Sure.
Obviously, I would say that he had a little bit more, in the pie per se. But I think, I saw myself as kind of an asset to bring on. So I think it funded itself, right?
Yeah,
so,
in a way, this is what I was told from my dad when we started our business is your pie portion is your sweat equity.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he gave me so much, I put in so much, and it wasn't as much as him.
Yeah.
But he was like, but I'm not going to be here for you. I mean, I'm going to be here for a phone call or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to run this business. You're going to have to grow it. And that's your investment, period.
Right.
So, and I feel like a lot of that was you.
Very simple. Yeah, I would say yes. Kind of. Yeah, I would say. I'm not going to go into like specifics about it.
Sure.
But yeah.
I mean, I know your dad was always involved. Literally every job that I saw you, he was involved.
Yeah.
But majority of my dealings and talking and new builds and this, I always got it from you.
100%. Yeah. So we go on and we start our Rawlins Building Group. Things are going like really well starting off. I mean, we're talking, 7, 8, 9, 10 projects at a time.
Wow.
To where it's like we have to book out 6 months and all that stuff. We ran into a couple hiccups here and there. And we did it. We wrote it out for about 3 years, I would say, is about the duration I was there doing that. And we had some bumpy, bumps in the road about it. But
it's then again, business.
It's a business, right? And honestly, it wasn't bad. It was kind of just, I think it just, money stressed us out. I think it came down to the fact that it's like, hey, we're business partners. And, he had a lot going on. I had a lot going on. It wasn't like I was just doing this. I was doing real estate transactions too.
And you have 2 kids.
And then the 2 kids as well. One at the time and a kid on the way, right? And that's kind of what leads me. So anyways, I got to the point where I was like, I'm burnout, not only by the, being on my own. I wouldn't say I was on my own, but on my own, but like not really knowing where the next check's coming from. Right. So like, and then, I felt outworked a little bit, like I was completely burnt out. And I got, I reached out and I got an opportunity I couldn't deny. So that's what I did. So I got on with Culture Company, which is a commercial contractor down here. And we are industry partners with Z6 Commissioning, who does, building envelope, architectural building envelope commissioning, as well as an architectural engineering firm and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
But, we do a lot of legal work and all that stuff. Anyways, I got an opportunity where I could not refuse, and I took it, and now we're here. So
I'm curious about the differences, right? Because I've kind of talked about this a little bit. When I was a nurse,
right,
I was stuck at that hospital from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now, I loved what I did, so it wasn't work to me because I loved it. Mm-hmm. But I look at other people, and you got people that want to be entrepreneurs, and then you got people that possibly want to work for somebody else or want to be a worker bee. Now, I'm not saying you're a worker bee by any means, but there is a difference, right? Because when you were an entrepreneur, you carried that stress of, hey,
hold up. I'm still an entrepreneur because I still have real estate. So
that's true.
Yeah. So I've still got a little bit going on, but go ahead.
Right. You still have other businesses, but in the sense of the commercial building.
Correct.
So you have, basically, you got to keep up with your cash flow.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
You got to manage your vendors,
right,
and getting them paid. You got to manage your business partners,
right,
and then you got to make sure you're taken care of for a stable life at home.
Right.
And if you have projects that they didn't pay on time or this, that causes fluctuations in that, correct?
Right.
So you turn around and you get a really good job because of some of this experiences, and now you got consistency. And does it take away some of the stresses that you had, or it's just different stresses now?
I would say, there's always I'm always going to have the entrepreneurial mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Because at the end of the day, I share an office with my boss, and I'm with him every day. It's like, and we share in the profits. It's not like it's something where it's like, you make money for me. It's like, no, we make money together.
That's pretty cool. Because a lot of businesses, they're not like that, right?
And I think that approach, like from an employer, right, having that mindset, really motivates your employees. Like I'm talking like you can't deny working at this place isn't great. I think, from me being on my own, obviously there was a lot more stress because it was me chasing a check. Me and the gig I have now is more consistent, and I also have the real estate income. So it's like I have transactions, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 a year. Nothing crazy, but we're talking,
enough. Nice houses.
Yeah,
I saw you sold an awesome house.
So yeah, we sold that one in Santa Fe, and I've got 2 under contract right now. I've got 3 listings, and it's been really good.
Who doesn't want to work with Gannon Rawlins?
Hey, come on now.
Hey, listen, my aunt's a realtor. No offense, Aunt Shirley, but I like to spread the love. I bought my first house with you. Love you, but
no, I get you.
The next
you
one,
can get her on next time. Yeah,
right. She got the first one. Maybe you get the second one. We are also doing some flip properties. So
yeah.
We did talk about that, but we'll see. I'm trying to we're doing them cash deals. So
right.
Just avoid.
I know you had mentioned it earlier. I think it's a great investment. I really do. I think it's definitely a good return coming there. So that hopefully that happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right.
We don't.
Y'all closed on it, right? It's done.
Oh yeah, it's done.
That's a good deal.
We just actually went and got our permits today to do the demo.
Good deal.
So we were going to do it on Saturday. No offense, City of Houston, avoid the permits, but we did it the right way. We went to you guys, got all our permits lined up, and I'm so short on dumpsters right now, as they're going to see by all my stressed out.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even get a dumpster over there to do my own property.
Man.
So we're going to get it out there on Wednesday next week. So we're
it's kind of funny to say that. It's like, you ever seen a mechanic's car type thing? It's like,
yeah, right. It's scary.
Get a dumpster to my house. It's like, what? Right. The hell?
Well, I almost considered calling another dumpster company.
Wow.
To do my property.
That's ass backwards, man.
I know, but I didn't do it. I made it work.
That's funny.
So, but it's just interesting to know, the different perspectives, especially, I haven't gone from running my own business to selling it.
Right.
And then going to kind of work with somebody. It's just a different.
I think I had a unique situation. It was kind of like I needed the consistent income because of my kids, right?
Sure.
I knew that I needed the consistency.
Benefits.
The benefits were amazing. I don't have near as much overhead anymore.
Right.
It's consistent. I know what to expect, and then on top of that, I get bonuses, like whether it's real estate or me landing a job, whatever it is. There's a little stability there. Do I miss being on my own a little bit? Yeah, of course. Because some days I could wake up at 5 a.m. and go fishing, and that's on a Tuesday. It's like, of course I miss that a little bit because at the end of the day, I do have a boss and I do have a schedule and I have to be there to make money for the company. Right. It is what it is. So there is some, there's always going to be pros and cons, right?
I said that in one of my videos. I was like, some days I wake up at 5.
Right.
Some days I wake up at 9. It's very rarely 9. I can't even tell you the last time my eyes opened at 9. My eyes are like on an automatic clock at 7:30.
Well, if you ever have kids, I'm telling you, consistent, not there.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure you got to take your sleep where you could get it.
Oh man, it's. Honestly, we did a pretty good job. I say we. Sammy did a pretty good job with scheduling, where it's like you're going to sleep at this time and you're waking up at this time, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it was like she had it completely mapped out where they ate breakfast, ate lunch at a certain time, napped at a certain time, and then went to dinner, or ate dinner and then went to sleep. No doubt about it.
So is Sammy at home with the kids?
Yes.
So I'm a huge believer in stay-at-home moms.
She just texted me. She's an hour over her bedtime. Crying. I swear to God. That's
pretty great.
Yeah, that's funny. You just reminded me to check my phone. No, she's fine. She's fine.
If you need to.
No,
it's okay.
No.
I can click this.
I think she likes to vent to me when there's issues with the kids, as do I. So, of course. But yeah, that's pretty funny. She texted me as you said.
I think that was one of the most important things in my life. My mom staying home. I mean, she.
Oh no, she didn't say. So she works from home. But
okay.
Yeah. She's got a stay-at-home job. She works for a company called Converge. It's like they do Dell products. They sell those.
Okay.
Like laptops and all that stuff.
Well, my mom being at home, she was an OT, and then she stayed at home, and
okay.
She ran that house. I mean, she had breakfast every morning for me and my sister when we went to school. I mean, it was like having a nanny.
Right.
It's my mom, but
right.
And we never had to worry about a thing. Like, we always had somebody to take us to school. We always had that was really special too. So some people are like, oh, you have a stay-at-home wife or a girlfriend, and like, you don't understand how much work that is. Some people don't understand how much work it is to be a stay-at-home mom. I mean, it can be a full-time job, especially when you have multiple kids.
Yeah, I'd say so. I guess that's true. I never really thought about it, but yeah, it's definitely something where you can appreciate it.
Sure. Listen, some people don't realize it, and that's part of the reason why I bring it up. So people do realize, like, somebody said, oh, my mom's a stay-at-home mom. A lot of people refer to, oh, she's a trophy wife, or she doesn't. Oh, God, she sits at home all day and does nothing. Well, I can tell you, for many years, cooking, cleaning, laundry. I mean,
yeah, it can be
running a house
for sure. Absolutely.
Now, if your house is like, I've been in some houses, and I'm just like,
you're a stay-at-home mom in houses and clean. You're like, what?
Right. No offense, moms. I know you could be busy. But most of the time, when there's a stay-at-home mom, that house is like
spotless. Yeah, I mean, I get it for sure. My background with my mom worked her tail off. I mean, she was a nurse as well. She went to nursing school at UTMB.
Okay.
And
was she still a nurse?
No. She at the time, nurses weren't making much, right?
Yeah.
So she went into pharmaceutical sales, and she's really good at that. Like, really good at that.
A lot of times that's the pipe, right? They start there.
Right.
I honestly might have got into that at some point. And I still think nurses are underpaid. Love you guys.
Yeah.
We make good money.
Yeah.
But we got to work our butts off.
It's like it's an hourly thing, right? It's like you get what you put in, right? I mean, you've got to answer to somebody, but you make your kind of make it.
And just a lot of hospitals, it just seems like they truly don't really care about their nurses sometimes. I mean, my situation right now, I've tried to work PRN at the hospital that I spent my entire career at. I stepped away for this knee surgery. I literally sent them pictures on the table before I had surgery. This is why I can't work.
Wow.
And they will not answer my phone calls, nothing. Now, my full-time department, my ER managers, love you guys. They will do anything for me. They're like, when can you come back full-time?
Wow.
I can't do that. There's no way.
No.
I tried that in the beginning when we started SWI. Did not work. But
especially, you're the guy, right? It's like it's hard to take on a second gig when you're the guy. You know, it's like who they calling? You. It's like you can't.
And I thought about, okay, I can work night shift, and then, well, you come home from nights, you're like this. It's 7 a.m. and then my phone starts ringing, and then it's going to ring 500 times during the day.
No. I think your route is, I know it's hard to kind of let go, right? And it's something you kind of love to do. But it seems like you're kind of pushing it, putting the passion somewhere else, right? You're making content, you're enjoying what you're doing. Yeah, your day to day, you don't know what the hell you're going to expect.
Every day is a new, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You never know.
No,
is it going to be a driver wrecking a truck? Is it going to be a driver quitting? Is it going to be a driver trying to buy beer? Hey, boss. I should do this. Hold on. No, this is your voice, not mine. Hold on, I gotta find this. I think it's this one. Hey, boss. No, that doesn't sound right. Anyways, hey, boss. I'm gonna pick up some beer in the truck on the way home. What?
No, you can't do that, dude.
It might be Friday afternoon, but you cannot take a company truck and pick up beer. Oh, okay, man. I did that last week, but I won't do it again.
Then he confessed. What an idiot.
Oh my God. I was like, are you serious? Then.
Sorry, I don't know who you are. Called you an idiot. Yeah, it's all good.
They're gone. I don't intentionally employ people like that.
Right.
I mean, we do our best, but I mean, I'm not living in the truck with them all day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you don't know what they're going to do, man.
The worst one I had, I guess they really turned to alcohol. And listen, I'm a full supporter of alcoholics, drug addicts. Like, I want you to get help. So if you ever, I've said this a million times, I want to help people,
right.
Whether it be entrepreneurs, nursing, whatever. If somebody needs help, I'm going to help them.
Right.
Well, I had somebody call me once over the weekend. Man, I'm really f***ed up, man. I've drank.
No.
I'm just so drunk. Called in Friday. Called me on Sunday to call in for Monday.
Oh, man.
And this is one of my best drivers at the time. And then he's like, man, on Monday night, I can't come in tomorrow, boss. I can't do it. I'm still really drunk. I drank a handle of whiskey and a pack of beer.
Yeah, it seems like a problem.
So he says, but I'll tell you what, I'll come in Wednesday, but I got to have a drink while I'm there. He asked me
What
if
is
he
going
could
on?
drink while at work.
And he's a truck driver.
And he's a truck driver. He never came back.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to draw the line
then
somewhere.
he filed
Right?
for unemployment.
Oh, great.
And unemployment called me.
Entrepreneur, baby.
And I said, ma'am, if I send you this recorded conversation, would that answer all your questions? And she said, well, what's the recording? I actually didn't have a recorded conversation. It was on my cell phone. I just said, look, he wanted to drink on the job. So,
yeah.
that was the end of that.
Yeah. So you didn't get hit with unemployment?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No. I've had a couple, I had another guy that had like a bottle of, he kept a bottle of like whatever the cheap vodka you could get at like a gas station.
Like a McCormick's or like
yeah. And he would keep that in the excavator.
Oh, man.
Well, finally, listen, I do alcohol and drug testing on all my employees.
Yeah, I mean, understandably, obviously you've been through it.
Right. And I understand that things happen. Well, we're literally I'm leaving the office one day. And this particular employee, the day he came to work for me, he got his car repossessed. The day he showed up, he got his car repossessed. 10 minutes before that happened, this is at the old office in Texas City.
Yeah.
10 minutes before that, I'd given him $50 to help him out with gas money to get him by to his first paycheck. He put that gas money in his center console as it got towed away.
Oh.
So he was really double screwed.
Oh, yeah.
So I paid to get the car out.
Right.
To help him. I said, look, you can pay me back $100 paycheck till you're caught up. So we had a good relationship.
Right.
Well, he ends up getting rid of that car and starts driving a moped to work.
From where? Like?
I guess he lived around San Leon, Texas City.
Okay.
And he started driving this moped.
Because we're talking like Highway 6, right? Or Highway 3?
No, this is still 146
yeah.
and 517 down here.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the people that don't know, it's just some busy roads.
Yeah.
Some people have gotten into some accidents over there. Not the safest area in the world, but
maybe not the best place to drive a moped.
Right. So I'm driving home one night. It's Friday, 4:30. Driving home. I see him on the moped, and he wore one of those, half face shields.
Oh, wow.
That you fold up and your whole face is exposed.
Yeah.
And you push it down and it's like a helmet.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call that, but I call it like the alien look,
Yeah.
He's riding with his screen up, with his legs like this, sticking out, and he's swerving on his moped. And I'm talking like swerving in between cars and his little $3,000 moped in La La Land. And I'm like, and when I say swerving, I'm talking like you would think he's in MotoGP leaning on the bike.
Like Mario Kart.
And I'm driving behind him. And I'm like, I called my operation manager. I said, do you know that this guy rides like this? He's like, no, I'd never seen him ride before. I'm like, oh my God. That weekend, on Monday morning, I get a call. This was the last number we found on this cell phone. It's broken and in a ditch outside my house. Okay. Next thing I know, Roger's not at work. Didn't show up.
Right.
So I go over to the phone to this guy, pick up the phone, it's all destroyed. He said, yeah, there was a bad accident over here over the weekend.
Oh, God, man.
Apparently he got plastered and wrecked his moped into the back of this guy's house. That's a ditch over in San Leon.
Oh.
Come to find out, after that incident.
He's alive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's not skip past that part.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I would have told you. It's bad, but I mean, he had scratches, cuts all over him, right? And he comes to work and he's like, man, I'm pretty messed up, you know. he had to go to the hospital for sure. Well, I'm starting to get way curious at this point, you know. I'm like, why would he do that? And why would he be driving like that? Well, something else happened and we ended up having to let him go. But then I opened the excavator and I found like a stack of these bottles.
McCormick bottles.
And he's just been,
God damn,
every day.
Wow.
And I was just like, and he'd been tearing up equipment. I mean, I thought it was just ignorance and operating.
Yeah.
He did pretty good, but he would still break windows and on the machine.
Right.
Like he'd fall off the pile on an excavator and into a dumpster and break a window or bend a piece. And I just thought it was like, he's working hard and
No.
He had a little blurred vision, but it's just scary that you just don't know who you're hiring sometimes.
That's what we started with. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, no doubt. It's like it's hard to find employers that care
or that it's safe. Like,
no doubt.
Not only that, it's like I want to keep people safe. My customers, people on the road. Like I don't want to stick just some random dude in behind the wheel of a truck and say, "Oh, save me! I'm so busy. I need you to drive. You have to drive." No, like I actually care who's going to be behind the wheel because I don't want there to be a family that we run over because this guy's a moron.
Right.
So, and I've had to get rid of
so
some
much
of my
liability, man. It's just like
I got rid of one of my best drivers. Awesome driver in the sense of customer service, gets the job done, but just not the safest driver.
Right.
It's almost like I need to sacrifice a little bit of slower pace for safety.
Yeah, not only safety and liability. You know, it's like you can't really.
People don't realize
trust people.
how much liability there is driving one of these big trucks on the road.
100%, and it's not their ass on the line. I mean, maybe. If it's them drinking and driving with with one of your trucks, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's your ass. Say one of that truck, goes across an intersection, hits somebody. It's like, that's you.
Exactly.
And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's like you've got a lot of people to manage, so hiring the right ones
is crucial.
It's crucial for sure.
But I'm super proud to be your friend, be a business acquaintance of you. Hopefully I get to start doing some dumpster business with you guys. But honestly, it's so much more than that to me at this point. I mean, like I said, if you called me for a dumpster tomorrow, I don't even know when I could get it to you. So,
dude, congrats. That's awesome.
I really appreciate it. And I respect all my customers. I called one of my customers today just to tell him, listen, I'm going to figure out how to get you a dumpster because you've been with me for 3 years.
100%.
And I will not get you a dumpster. I
mean, that's like our relationship, right? I mean, when I needed a dumpster, dude, you were Johnny on the spot.
Tried to be.
And I guess they have like a porta potty Johnny on the spot. You were Johnny on the spot,
I tried to make a deal with that guy to do my porta potties for me.
Really?
And he wouldn't talk shop, so I just did it myself.
Well, hey, entrepreneur, man. Hey, you're killing it. You're doing really well. And I really do appreciate it. It's been awesome. I mean, honestly, the customer service you've got, unmatched.
I appreciate it.
Unmatched, man. You do a really good job.
We try our best, and we just keep rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
100%.
Guys, subscribe to TheTrashman, the one Trashman. Subscribe. I should have some new merch coming up pretty soon. didn't have it here for Gannon today, but I'm actually going to start giving out hats, some shirts, some swag as a gift for my podcast. So you will be getting something. Cool. We might have to do a little touch-up, follow-up video on your merch that you get.
Yeah.
But that's going to be added. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. And check out, what is your dad's company still running?
Yeah, Rawlins Building Group is still running. We're running out of the Galveston, Harris County area. If y'all need a remodel or anything like that, hit them up.
Hit them up, and you might get an SWI Trashman dumpster there.
There you go, man.
Thanks again. See ya.
Absolutely. Thank you.